Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here to celebrate the finals of the Great Pitch Contest. It's the 13th edition, and let me introduce our judges. We've got here Oscar Ramos from SOSV, Tomasz Mazurek from Funding Box, and Anita Kron-Traseth, Startup Norway. And without further ado, let's introduce our first startup, Ether. I hope they are with us. Hello, Dhruv.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Okay. Are you sharing your screen?
Yep, I'll be sharing my screen. I think Tomax are already has seen the same page quite some time.
Okay, we can see it now. Just, go full screen, click on hide to not disturb us, because we can see that. Okay, super. I think we are ready. So let's start. 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone. I am Dhruv Agrawal, CEO of Ether Biomedical. I'm extremely pleased to have this opportunity to present here. And what we as a company are doing are building the operating system for the rehabilitation industry. Globally, over 500 million people require some kind of assistive physical therapy devices. But today, there is no communication between these devices and the human body. And because of this missing control and communication layer, it leads to non-intuitive control systems, data inefficient randomized treatment approach, and a lack of biofeedback. We are enabling this communication by creating a rehab OS platform, which will be revolutionary, converting these dumb, inefficient hardware to smart, data-driven therapy solutions. Our Rehab OS platform looks at the end-to-end musculoskeletal health of a human being using EMG and biomechanical sensors, muscle health monitoring algorithms, and a data analytics platform, which allows us to implement our solutions across the end-to-end patient journey, including mobility solutions, control system solutions, and monitoring and training solutions. We intend to revolutionize the whole world of rehabilitation with these. But to begin with, we have implemented a pathology-specific model, which will allow us for the first implementation of the Rehab OS, building upon all of this collected musculoskeletal data. The first pathology that we have targeted is upper limb amputation, simply because of the high dropout rates prevalent in this industry. So what's wrong with upper limb amputation today? There's a very low adoption because of high cost and lack of infrastructure, problems that can be solved by digital solutions, and a high dropout rate because of non-intuitive control systems and no systematic data-driven procedure, problems that can be solved using machine learning and AI. So we bring our multi-model approach, including Zeus, the strongest bionic limb on the market, which is the assistive device, the control system, which starts from user's intent to action to biofeedback, and a digital therapy platform, which monitors the end-to-end progress of the patient. We have already sold 25 units of Zeus in the market and have conducted clinical testings in 15 countries in 2020 itself. We are on track to expand our Rehab OS platform horizontally from transitioning from a pathology specific to a modular unified platform covering various musculoskeletal and neurological therapies. We've been building a team to see through it with 20 members already on board. We have already raised over 1.5 million euros and are looking for a pre-series A round of 3.5 million, out of which our existing investors have already committed more than 2 million euros. Thank you and have a nice day.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's move on straight to the Q&A. Are there any questions from our judges?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
You said you had 25 customers. Are they pilots or have they actually paid for the product?
So everyone has already paid for the product. So we have generated more than 250,000 euros in terms of revenue in the last 6 months itself. And more importantly, we have signed distributors and clinical partners in 7 countries right now across Europe.
Okay, and could I just ask you what kind of countries these are?
So we are right now we are in Poland, we are in Portugal, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg.
Dhruv, that's a pretty long way from the bionic arm to the rehab operating system. What made you change the view, change the strategy that much? Because I remember you from one of the acceleration programs, and when you've been developing the bionic hand, and now this massive change. So how can you please comment it?
Sir, I mean, we realized over a time period on what we do best is acquire the EMG biomarker data per se and process it to understand the intent of the user. And that's where our core technology lies, not in some kind of hardware or anything like that. Even within the Robot Union program, that was where we focused our complete work on, which is this pattern recognition system, which takes the EMG data and outputs you the muscular health information as well as the intent of the user and builds sensory feedback back to the user. And this is a technology that we see on a platform level, which can be applied across the field of rehabilitation. Now, of course, having said that, because this is a regulated industry, we cannot go and apply the same technology to 10 different therapies at the same time. That's why we are still sticking with our end-to-end solution within the field of upper limb amputation. So when I first came to that acceleration program, I saw that we were heavily focused on okay, we need to make better prosthetics, but more importantly, what we have learned is we need to make the patient journey end to end, starting from after amputation up to the point where he gets super skilled in using an assistive device better, not just the prosthetic product itself. So seeing that transition or understanding the market helped us formulate this rehab OS strategy of capitalizing on what we do best, which is understand your musculoskeletal system.
We still have 1 hour 30 seconds. Okay.
Building on the previous question and your answer right now, are you a hardware company? Are you a software company? How do you see the evolution of the company? Are you going to be developing all your like prosthetic elements, or are you going to be working with existing companies and introducing your rehab OS?
Yeah. So we are a hardware-enabled services startup as of now, but very soon we will transition into a pure software company where we are building this umbrella platform under which we could unify these decentralized assistive devices by other developers out there as well. So we started to build our own hardware, and we have to prove that our sensing and control solutions work. And the easiest way to do that was to have end-to-end control over the process. But in the long term, our goal is to be this umbrella platform which takes care of, under which multiple assistive devices can fall under.
Any last minute questions? We've got 30 seconds.
For the existing revenue, sorry, go ahead, Anita.
No, it's okay, go.
I was just going to ask, for the $250K in revenue that you have right now, what percentage is for the software, what percentage is for the hardware?
So right now, this is purely hardware revenue. We are launching our digital therapy platform for end-to-end upper limb amputation care at the end of this year, which will be device agnostic. So it doesn't matter what prosthetic device you use. Our digital therapy platform will be for everyone, for every upper limb amputee out there. And then we will transition to other pathologies later on. So right now, it's completely hardware, but by the end of 2025, we predict that it will be 80 to 90% software, remaining 10% our devices.
Thank you, Dhruv. Unfortunately, we have to move on and be joined by our next startup. Thank you so much for your presentation, but we need to hurry up because we've got 9 startups in the finals. So let's bring Holly and Sabli. Okay, let's see your screen. Perfect. I'm setting the clock to 3 minutes. Take it away.
Thank you. Hi there, I'm Holly Stevens, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sabli, and I'm going to tell you why 50,000 users had the same problem that I experienced, adding subtitles to content, and why they chose Sabli, and how we signed a deal with LinkedIn all in 1 year. Like everyone on here, you watch content on social, with your team, and on webinars. 85% of videos are watched on mute, and when you add subtitles, it increases engagement by 80%. It's also a legal requirement for enterprises to add them. But adding subtitles to video is time-consuming, costly, and you need the skills to do it. Sabli is the solution. It's an easy way for anyone, anywhere to add subtitles onto the videos in 31 languages. In 3 steps, you have a complete video with subtitles. You simply upload a video or audio file. Sabli automatically transcribes for you. You can edit the text like a Word doc and brand it and publish. It's affordable, starting off at $10 a month, and you don't need any digital skills. And we're the team to make this happen. I had the problem adding subtitles to my YouTube channel, and I've also had the same problem working at Google on product launches and at Xerox. And I've also had my own marketing agency where I had this struggle for my clients. My co-founder and I have worked together before this business, and we've built a great global team around us with strong skills in development and launching technology products. We only launched 1 year ago to the public, and we have had exponential growth. We're now just shy of 50,000 users. All has been organic growth with no paid marketing. We're seeing a growth rate of 21% month on month. And our monthly recurring revenue is £9,000 in just 5 months. And we signed a deal with LinkedIn where we're their only transcription and translation partner for their enterprises. We've seen thousands of creators, businesses, and agencies use Subbly. We already have 2,000 education institutions and 4,000 enterprises using Subbly, such as Canon's events team and LinkedIn's global content team. Our go-to-market strategy is making our products suited to creators all the way to enterprises. A user will try Subbly for free, and based on the minutes and functionality needed, the user will upgrade to the desired plan suited to their budget and team. This strategy will allow us to reach the 1.5 million annual recurring revenue by the end of this year. We are already receiving more traction than our competitors that have been 2 years ahead of us, and customers are moving across to us. Some of our competitors in this space focus on creators and social media, and Simon Says and Caption Hub are focused on agencies and mid-market companies. Adobe and YouTube are not suited to what our users need, and they're complex to use. And we also have a bigger plan for Subbly than what you see today and what our competitors offer. We're building a suite of services enabling us to be the market leader in transcription and translation. We already closed 1.2 million in 1 year. Our seed round is currently overcommitted and closing, but please get in contact if you're interested in investing. You can help us by recommending and introducing us to your teams, network, creators, or anyone who needs subtitles and translation. Thank you for your time, and I'm here to take the panel's questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Who's got the question? Who'd like to start?
I'm happy to start. Sure. What's your secret sauce? What's your way to scale? It's easy to do this through the Google Ads, but I would like to hear more about your ideas. How are you going to outperform your competitors, and not in terms of the product, but in terms of ways of scaling?
Sure, great question. Thanks, Thomas. Actually, this has been core to Subbly from the very start, and it's actually how we built it around our community and our users, and it's allowed us to go from 0 users to 50,000. We've nurtured a community. We've found product market fit very quickly with testing with users. We're not oblivious that anyone could build a transcription app, but the way that we've done it is nurturing that community, and that is our special sauce. On top of that, it's our accuracy and ease of use that we've built around the platform, and just constant innovation around what those users need, and always asking questions of how we can improve this for our users so that we can quickly release products that fit those users and what they want.
Thank you for a great presentation. I just have to say, I just love it. That's a female CEO.
Of course.
We know that only 1% of the venture capital in the CEU region goes to female CEOs. I just have to mention it. So my question is, so you're adding subtitles to videos. Is there any limits when it comes to languages?
No, what we've actually done is that we've allowed 31 languages to date. So we actually launched with 31 languages because we wanted to see some of the regions that we hadn't thought about that need this more than others. So for example, Brazil use us, as well as the UK, US, Poland, multiple languages use us. And so we wanted to try that from the start. And on top of that, we're also building out our own machine learning. So for example, if that isn't on offer, that 31 languages, then we can also learn from our users and what languages they speak. And we're also building a marketplace as well, so that we could also add on other languages that may not be available. From places like India, where they have multiple languages, we can also offer that as well.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit on your proprietary technology, your IP in the voice technology space?
Sure, of course. Great question, Oscar. So the way that Subbly works is that we use a plugin technology at the moment, but you would automatically have that transcription happen behind the scenes, so there's no humans needed. The main part of the Subbly platform and our IP is our SaaS platform that we've built out. It's all the extra features that you have behind editing, editing the video, editing the transcript, resizing, and it's all the translation as well, elements within our platform.
What does it take to introduce new language to your platform? Because you mentioned you've got around 30, but assuming you would like to add more, what does it take? How long does it take? And what type of resources are needed to add it?
Yeah, typically it'd be based on, again, we always put that out to our users first before we build anything. We don't want to waste any investors' money or our own. So it's based on if our users need a specific language. So we'd always test that first. And we actually have voting systems on our website for the product roadmap or languages that are needed. So we'll always put that out to the users first and what they request. And then we would start to build that within our platform. That may be that we start to use some proprietary solutions. So we might add in a plugin of different languages with one of the companies that we could use, a simple API, or it may need that we need to add in something else for the marketplace of languages.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I have to stop you here because we ran out of time. So thank you very much. And we will be joined by our next startup, Viezo, and Donat is here. Perfect. So
hello.
Let's see your screen with your presentation.
Okay, you see it, right?
We can start.
Perfect.
3 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. So hello, everyone. My name is Donat. I represent startup Viezo. We're based in Vilnius in Lithuania, and we're developing vibration energy harvesting technology for powering the wireless IoT sensors in the industry. So currently, almost all of the wireless sensors installed in the industry are powered within the batteries, which last on average 5 years there. After those 5 years of a sensor's operation, the battery dies and it has to be replaced by a human being. It is calculated that to change just one sensor's battery costs approximately 150 euro, where the major cost is the human labor, and this whole process repeats every 5 years. So how do we tackle that? We do a source of renewable energy, which can make the sensor solution in the industry as a fit and forget, therefore saving massive costs over time and creating significant value. So right there, you can see a very brief GIF or a video showing the design of our developed construction, vibrating live on one of the applications. Now, look at this chart. Let's say the sensor with the integrated battery costs 100 euro, then the sensor with the vibration energy harvester would cost approximately 150 euro, as we're about to price it at approximately 50 euro level. So in 15 years, there will be 2 battery changes, which will end up costing 400 euros in total, while energy harvester-backed sensor will have its cost exactly at the same level during the whole time. The real beauty of what we do is that yet and still we are the first and the only ones in the world commercializing the vibration energy harvesting based on the specific piezoelectric polymer technology. And the reason for that is that really no one prior our inception believed that this material, the PVDF, which we use, can be useful at all in the energy harvesting. And this can be backed by the fact that currently we're capable of generating approximately 20 times more energy with it than any other scientists have ever achieved in their lab. And the international PCT patent for our made efficient design is filed and pending. And this year we're planning to file several more patents like that. The main markets we're tackling are the smart oil and gas, smart mining, and smart railway fields, valued at $7.4, $9.2, and $50 billion last year, respectively, where railway industry is a major focus of ours, as every single railway operator in Europe is about to invest billions literally of euros into modernization and digitalization of the railway industry, which is supported heavily by the European Union, and we align perfectly with their digitalization goals. So this is the perfect time to tackle this market, and we are there to make it happen. So 20 companies worldwide have already purchased our development kits, including several big names like Singapore Telecom, SKF Group, Siemens, Alstom, etc. And we're undergo several POC projects with major corporates in Europe, to which we develop an individual solution which shall end into multi-million supply contracts next year. So we're a team of 8 right now, fully dedicated to what we do, and most of us coming within great experience in the engineering or in sales and marketing. We're about to expand our team twice in the next several months, and we're also working with local technical university, which basically extends our capacity for projects and R&D capabilities. So that's all what I wanted to share. Thanks a lot for your time, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Donat. Yes, we are right now in the Q&A. Who'd like to start from the judges?
I can start.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So it's really interesting with the vibration energy. I saw that you filed a patent in 2020, and you're filing even more patents. But what's the result so far from the patent office?
It's patent pending, and there is no timeline when it might be granted or denied. So they usually take 1 to 3 years. So
yeah, and then I'm just wondering if you mentioned and you showed logo from 20 top companies. Again, are they pilots or are they paying customers?
some of them have paid only for those development kits to try. So those development kits are made of several energy harvesters purely for the testing purposes, to understand what they are and how they could be potentially applicable at their applications. And some of those logos, which you have seen, they are in process of proof of concept projects for which we are getting paid for the development and individual solutions.
Tomasz?
Which TRL your solution is right now? When do you expect to go into the market as the product?
Yeah, so basically the business model for us for this year, since we still have one last thing to comply within our product, we have to make sure that the lifetime of it is applicable within the railway industry, and that's what we're about to make this year. So for this year, we're planning to get as many proof of concept projects as possible within the railway industry, so that in 2022 we could scale on those projects which we have accomplished in 2021, and also gather some other projects within the other companies with whom we didn't get the POCs.
So one more question about durability, because you've shown that it's 15 years expected time for your harvester to be working.
Yeah.
How can you be sure? And have you been making some accelerated durability tests to prove it?
Absolutely. We have started those simulations since June 2020. So we're putting our energy harvesters into thermocycling cameras under harshest vibrations. So we're changing temperatures. That's part of the simulations and accelerated testing. And we're expecting to finish those in Q3 this year. So yeah, then we should be able to put a tag on our harvesters that they're okay to work, at least in the railway industry. And it's crucial to mention that every single application has a definite requirement for the lifetime.
Thank you, Donat.
Very interesting. I mean, I look into this space 4 years and a half ago when I was working in a startup, and I was definitely very disappointed. So very excited to hear that. What could be the impact in the form factor?
Sorry to interrupt you here, but we do not have time for more questions, so you'll have to address that inside Hopin. So please go there and let us know, and maybe here in the private chat as well. So please do so for our judges. And now we'll be joined by Pekat Vision. Okay, Petrus here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Can you share your screen?
Sure. All right. So can you see something?
Yes, we can. We can. So I'm starting the clock. Feel free to start.
All right. So thank you. I would like to present our startup Pekat Vision. My name is Peter, and I'm the founder and CEO. And I would like to explain what is the problem, what we are solving. So in each and every manufacturing plant, although the process is automated, there are still a lot of factory workers which are simply checking the quality of the products by so-called visual inspection. And the visual inspection task is really done by people, and people are not always focused, and so the quality of their inspection is not really high. We try to address this issue, and we created a solution based on image analysis. So when camera is installed above the assembly line, our software running in the computer is able to learn how the product should look like, and is automatically able to recognize any anomalies and defects. Basically, we started our company with research, and we created a technology which we call focused learning. I don't go into details right now, but it is based on AI, but heavily and radically changed for the usage on the manufacturing in the manufacturing and assembly lines. One of big advantages is that our technology is able not only to find expected defects, but it can find even unexpected defects. As an example, at the production of LCD screen, the expected defects is a bad pixel, but a human hair which falls into the LCD screen is unexpected. And approaches which search only for expected defects would not find it, because they would search for bad pixel only. So our software contains of multiple modules which are combined, basically we deliver the best possible solution for a customer, because we have high precision of the search for expected defects, and actually very high precision of searching of unexpected anomalies. These are all our customers. I'm happy that we basically quite regularly beat all our competitors at tenders and competitions. We have always the best recognition precision. We find all the most of the defects with less false positive rate, and speed of the recognition is simply great. Basically, we partner with multiple companies. I would like to mention that with AD-Link, we have squeezed our software inside of the camera, so now it's running directly in the camera, no need for integration and computer, and so on. We have global network of distributors around the globe, some rock stars in our team, and we start to grow, and basically we really believe in the huge potential of the technology and our software. All right,
okay,
so
I think we're ready for the Q&A, because we are already in it. So who'd like to start with the questions?
Yep, happy to go first. So I like to understand exactly what is the magic of your AI. I mean, it seems that you are. I'm not sure if it's exactly on the training side, and I like to. That's a key thing. How are you training that, and how you acquiring or optimizing the data sets to train the models?
Mm-hmm. So basically, the data are quite normally captured at the assembly line, but our models are, I would say, radically different to deep learning, and it works especially on data set where the object is always very similar on each image, but we are searching for very tiny defect, and for this our anomaly detector is just great, and supervised search for defects too.
Do you supervise training for the
we have
models?
Supervised and unsupervised, both of them, and they are combined together in order to deliver the most robust solution to the customer.
Okay.
Still have 2 minutes.
You mentioned quite few customers. How long does it take to train the model to deploy your solution in a new factory or a new production line?
Mm-hmm. So training of the model is pretty fast. It can take from, I would say, 5 minutes to maximally half an hour. or in some cases an hour. But it is good to try multiple settings in order to achieve the best possible results. Typically in half a day, the training is perfectly prepared for being installed in the assembly line.
So Peter, what's your biggest worry when you go to sleep at night? What's your biggest worry about your company?
Biggest worry? Well, actually, I don't have so much worries, yeah. So we are right now trying to shorten the cycle time, and therefore we have squeezed our software in the camera, because then with the camera we can really sell to customer at the plant immediately, and we do not need to wait for installation of the integrator, and because that took usually quite a long time, and so this is it. And actually we are searching for investment, not because of worry, but we would like to expand our sales, especially to Asian markets. We have already branch in Japan, but we would like to be much more visible on Taiwan, Singapore, and in multiple places in China.
20 seconds to go. Would you like to add anything to our viewers?
Actually, I would be happy if you vote for us. Actually, we really believe in the big potential, and we are going to change the world of factories. Actually, our product is running on quite big brands. So I believe if you next time you buy iPhone, it will be probably inspected by our software.
Thank you. All right. Thanks so much. And now we move on to MindHug and Raj.
Perfect.
Okay, you're here.
You all see my screen? I've shared it already.
Yes, we can. So I'm starting the clock. Good luck, Raj.
All right, thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Raj. I'm the founder and CEO of MindHug, a UK-based, UCL-incubated mental well-being platform. We're on a mission to improve therapeutic choice and make mental well-being more accessible, more affordable, and more personalized than ever before. Over 300 million people suffer with depression and anxiety globally. This makes this the largest cause of disability. To contrast, 50 million people are currently suffering with COVID, most of whom will recover. The cost to the global economy of depression and anxiety is over 1 trillion annually. But you all know this. So let's look at the most complex structure known to man, the human brain. I'm showing 4 images over here of a normal functioning brain, a depressed brain, an unstimulated brain, and then this brain stimulated with music. Now, it's remarkable if you look at the left and the right, how music can create brain activity that's almost identical to a normal functioning brain. It's not only music, but people respond to art, mindfulness, pets in a fairly remarkable and therapeutic way. Many of these actually form the basis of medically recognized therapies. Some are highlighted here, like music therapy and art therapy. At MindHug, we focus on 7 of these expressive and experiential therapies. But why is this important? Well, 66% of individuals will have challenges responding to the gold standard of therapies, such as CBT, counseling, or medication. While these can be very useful, mental well-being is a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. One size does not fit all. Greater therapeutic options are therefore the need of the hour. But choice is not enough. The right therapy needs to go to the right person at the right time at a price they can afford. We do this through a hybrid therapeutic approach, where we combine the best of affordable therapist-led solutions with digital content, mood tracking, all powered by ethical emotional AI, which provides insights to help individuals find what works for them. We have an app and a corporate concierge service. Oops, it's frozen there. We also have a raft of client management software that we provide therapists, and all of this is done on award-winning, privacy-preserving technology. The mental well-being competition is growing very rapidly from the likes of Calm and Headspace, but we truly are the only platform integrating greater therapeutic choice, expressive therapies, affordability, ethical AI, and insights, while solving for frictions facing therapists as well. We're nearing full launch and will have a freemium subscription model for institutions, individuals, as well as therapists. Initially B2B2C, focusing on universities and high-stress occupations in London. We plan on diversifying markets soon. We are raising up to 1.5 million with a focus on iterative product development and growth. Our team has over 100 years of experience across entrepreneurship, medicine, psychiatry, therapy, technology, AI, encryption, and finance. Thank you for your support. Give yourself a mind hug.
Thank you, Raj. So we can move smoothly to the Q&A. Who'd like to start?
I can start.
Go ahead.
So it's an online platform where companies can outsource the psychological being so they can perform better at work, right? And the model is subscription, and so you can have online therapists, you can have tools, events, etc. How are you going to launch this? How are you going to get traction?
So we're looking at a B2B2C model. The product is a little bit more than that, but I can get into that in a minute. But we're looking at a B2B2C model where we're actually approaching institutions and universities and seeing if they would kind of roll it out to their employees and students. The benefit of that is that keeps user acquisition costs much lower. We've had some early discussions with incubators who are willing to roll it out to their startups. We also are in discussions with a university who is quite keen to look at the solution for about 52,000 students. So just looking at the numbers, 52,000 students at £6 a month roughly, that can be quite a tasty number per month.
Is it a lifestyle application, or you are planning to get the medical certification?
So most of the therapies we're focusing on now are not regulated by NICE, which is the medical regulator in the UK. These are medically recognized therapies, so I know they sound alternative, but they're actually medically recognized therapies, and they have their own regulatory bodies. In time, I think the NHS in the UK and definitely other medical bodies will start incorporating these into their main therapies. In fact, that was the case back in the 70s and 80s. It slowed down since then. So when that does happen, we probably would need to get greater clarification on our regulatory stance.
Well, it's already happening. There are first applications that are approved as software as a drug. So I guess that you should be having a look at this.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, Oscar.
How do you capture objective information from the impact of the patient when they're using your app?
Yeah, so we have two ways of doing that. We have a mood diary, which a user can actually input their moods and how they're feeling, and that's also monitored after a therapy session. But we're also using effective artificial intelligence, which measures pitch of the voice. It also measures what the user is writing in their mood diary, what they're saying, and uses that to kind of understand what the emotions the user is going through.
Anita, I think you had a question.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oscar, Tomasz?
Yeah. Do you have any validation of the fact that what is the validation that you have that your suggestions actually work?
So we've trained the models, and we've looked at the models on the cloud as well as on the local device, because we're looking at ethical AI. We are looking at local devices as well. If it's on the cloud, we can actually measure emotions at almost a 90% accuracy rate based on trained data sets. But if you do it on the device, you're looking at about a 70 to 80% accuracy. In terms of the therapies being effective, I've done academic research on this, and my dissertation was on this as well.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you so much. And now we move on to Lamon. Okay, you're here with us. Please share your screen.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Please excuse the fact that my computer just crashed, so I'm going to present to you from my phone without any slides. But nevertheless,
Okay. In the
It's
meantime,
more
we will
important.
try. In the meantime, we'll try to share them for you. So if our technical team could help, you can start your pitch, but we will work in the in the background and try to help you. So feel free to start now.
Don't worry about it. Thank you so much. It's much more important what I have to say anyways. Thank you for having me. My name is Gergana, and I'm going to talk to you all about Lemon, our 100% biodegradable laminating and packaging foils. Now, both founders have worked in the print sector for quite a few years, so we've been well aware of the amount of plastic used there. Lamination in particular is a huge problem. Lamination is a thin layer of see-through plastic that's used to seal and preserve paper and cardboard, packaging, advertising materials, almost everything around us. Unfortunately, once applied on paper, lamination makes the whole product almost impossible to recycle. So not only are we using tens of thousands of tons of plastic that's not recycled, but we're also wasting valuable resources like paper and cardboard. The problem with clear packaging foils is quite similar. Unfortunately, because of the way they're used and the fact that they're low density plastics, they almost never get recycled. So we developed a recipe to create 100% biodegradable clear films. Lemon, our laminating film, is, as I said, 100% biodegradable and suitable for compost. It looks and feels the same as the current solutions. It's applied on the standard machines, and what's really important, it's at a very competitive price. And as for Pacon, our packaging foil, it has the same benefits, but we also developed an oxygen barrier that works great for packaging food. And good thing, we already certified it as food safe. Now, we are targeting two markets, print and packaging, that overlap quite a lot. But the main thing is they're both incredibly big and they're constantly growing. We are now a step away from the market. We are only waiting for our official biodegradability certification to come through. And we only need around 50,000 euro in order to launch both products, Lemon and Pacon. After that, we're going to need another 500,000 to be able to scale up fast and lock our clients by the end of the year. But it's not just a good business. For us, Lemon and Pacon are a way to actually change our industries, and especially print, because we are really passionate about print and we do want to be able to produce products that are actually sustainable and that have a strategy for the end of life. We have the team to do it. Our core team combines experience in print, entrepreneurship, and chemistry with a lot of sincere desire to actually change the way we do things. So we just need a little push. Hopefully we can find it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We started sharing. Maybe we can keep the slides while we move on to the Q&A for our viewers. So who'd like to start with the questions?
What's your go-to-market strategy? Through which channels you want to get to the final customers? Because it's not easy to scale the business.
Yeah, thankfully for the past 3 years now that we've been working on it, we've been also talking to the experts in the field. And as I mentioned, we come from print, so we already knew a lot of them here in Bulgaria, where we're from. But we also did a really deep research into Europe's biggest print sectors and centers. So now we have around 250 clients waiting for us to start selling. Some of them already have samples and are pleased with them. Most of them don't, because we're waiting for the official certification. On top of that, we are part of FESPO, which is one of the biggest print associations in the world. They're a great channel, and the same goes for quite a few distributors for packaging and print supplies that we're already in contact with. And since the industry works mostly with distributors and less so with direct sales, we're mostly targeting them as well.
And where do you produce this?
Here in Bulgaria, near Sofia, the capital.
Okay, in Bulgaria. And do you own the fabric? Do you own what part of the value chain do you outsource, and what do you own?
We are currently working with subcontractors for the main extrusion, and then we do the final procedures in our own space. We just now are setting up our own production facility. And the plan is to have our own extrusion machine by the end of next year. So we want to keep everything under one roof, but for at least 1 year, we're going to keep on working with subcontractors, who are also here in Bulgaria, by the way.
So if I understand correctly, you basically have a new material that can use the existing machines, and then you'll reduce drastically the environmental impact without compromising the safety elements, the safety regulations necessary for an industry demanding as the food industry. What are the limitations of adoption for this? What could be the reasons why somebody might have objections in terms of using the product? Is shelf life shorter than a regular plastic to a level that can impact certain types of products, use cases?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, the lifespan of our films is shorter. It won't last for a few hundred years, even if you keep it in pristine quality out of sunshine and stuff like that. So yes, in a few years, around 10 years, it's going to start showing defects. That's why we are targeting things that are really with short shelf life. So maybe if you want to laminate your diploma or package something like that, will not be the greatest choice. But for packaging of food and supplies and everyday things, it's going to work perfectly. Of course, it's not a perfect solution to every problem. Of course, if the paper underneath is not suitable for compost, the whole thing won't be able to be composted. And then again, we have the same issue with a product that has no strategy for end of life. If you package something or you throw our lamination or packaging foils in the plastic bin, they're not supposed to go there because they're supposed to get composted. So of course, there are some issues that, as with everything, could be a problem. However, it is a much better option than the current solutions, which are petroleum based. And once the whole industry kind of shifts bit by bit to a more sustainable way of thinking, I think most of those problems will solve themselves.
Thank you so much, Gergana. Thank you. We ran out of time, and we are moving on to our next startup, AQ AI and Ross. Are you sharing your screen? Yes. Perfect. I've got the clock set to 3 minutes, so feel free to start.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Awesome to be here. No doubt many of you have heard of IQ, our cognitive intelligence. And EQ a few decades ago of our emotional intelligence became a big industry. In fact, it's a 20 billion industry set to be a 60 billion industry in the next few years. But let me tell you, now is the time for AQ, our adaptability quotient. It's the most important skill for our future. So we're an organization that is slap bang in between AI, health tech, and ed tech. And I'm going to tell you what we've been up to and what we're doing. So one of the big challenges is this fact that technology is growing at an exponential rate, and it's displacing so many people's tasks, roles, and careers. In fact, 40% of the jobs that exist today won't exist in 10 years' time. We just heard about factory workers that are observing, and looking at quality control are going to be replaced by technology. So many of them are. How do humans keep up for that? How do we adapt? And the impact of not doing so is collapse of teams, roles, industries, and companies as we go through. This is natural, but it's speeding up. Many organizations, be it LinkedIn, World Economic Forum, McKinsey's, are putting adaptability at the top list of the skills that are required for the future of work. So the latest report from LinkedIn put resilience and adaptability at the top. This is not just the COVID effect. It's been in the top 5 for the past 5 years on many of these different surveys and different pieces as a vastly important skill for us. So what do? We measure it, and then we improve it at scale. We measure it in a really interesting way. So we do it via a conversational chatbot. It's a scientifically validated assessment across 15 different dimensions, and then we do predictive analysis. It's for individuals, teams, and organizations. We give an instant report, and what we're also doing is certifying and training coaches around the world in our product and platform, and they're our go-to-market strategy. We've got a patent pending on our assessment and model and AQ, but what's even more exciting that I can't wait to tell you about is Ada. And she is our personalized digital coach. Think of the Iron Man Jarvis who's always by your side. That learning becomes in line with life, not an event you go to or a video you watch on Udemy or these things. It's scalable and adaptive, understands how you learn, what your goals are, and it predicts what's going on. It's got situational smarts of people around you, linked to things like your Aura ring if you wish, because our sleep massively impacts our learning ability. So all of this is focused on the future of work and how we navigate change in our career paths. Our business model, and I started very quickly. Assessments is our Trojan horse. We sell on volume based discounts and also through our channel. We then have our subscription base for the digital coach and marketplace, and we are certifying coaches around the world. So we believe everyone should have access to those best training, coaching, and content. And if we know who, how, when, and why people adapt, then we can ensure no one's left behind in this fast period of change in history. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are already in the Q&A. Who would like to start from our judges with the question?
I can start.
Okay.
So who's your customer? So if I were an HR director of Coca-Cola, how would you sell this to me?
Well, we've had conversations with Coca-Cola, in fact, and we have a blend. So some come direct to us, like GSK, for example, big pharmaceutical. We're doing 500 of their executive leadership team through the assessment to transform through a lot of change programs. So sometimes it comes direct, other times it's through our coaching network that we've been training. So we've done 66 certified coaches now in the last 5 months, and we're at a run rate of growth of about 15 new coaches that we're training each month. So it can come through either of those routes. HR is one place, innovation is another place in terms of the end customer, like Microsoft or federal government in the Canada that we're now in, US government and military, so a variety of places.
But so what am I buying? Am I buying consultancy, tools, access to software? What exactly am I buying?
So the first thing that you're buying is an assessment that assesses 15 dimensions of each individual's adaptability profile. So their level of resilience, unlearning, hope, mindset, team support for psychological safety, so that you can then start to understand their change readiness and their reskill index. And so you get that data, and then you get access to masterclasses and to on-platform how to improve each of these areas. So it's not inscalable in terms of consultancy. It's all inbuilt in the platform.
Can you share a bit more about the traction? I mean, it's a bit. I mean, I don't know if you mentioned it during the presentation, and then you mentioned we're working with 500 executives in GSK. Yeah. Can you talk about the number of analyses that you've run and the number of students that you're trained, and share how many of those are POC, like
perfect
to demonstrate, and how many are paid?
So we did a first beta of the assessment with a few thousand individuals across 28 countries and a variety of companies, from IBM to the UN to all sorts. That was free. That was in 2019. We now have a commercial launch that people are paying for. So we have a variety of paying direct clients, and we have 66 coaches that have paid, all to be certified in a variety of countries around the world. The other sort of milestones we've raised and traction, $1 million to date. And what else is important of traction? We're a portfolio company of Startup Health. So they have a 2% safe note with us. The other stuff I'll answer in further conversations if people are interested, but they're the headlines of those things.
So right now you're paid mostly for assessments, not for the training, not for the access to the training platform.
The training platform is twofold. So the Ada coach is in development. We're not being paid for that, but we're being paid for the training of the coaches who are our go-to-market, that then become affiliates and resellers because they get a discount on the assessments. So they become our, in effect, sales agents out to the end user clients. So we're generating revenue from them. It's about $1,000 per certificate for a foundation, and then $2,000 for a professional certification.
Thank you so much, Ross. We ran
Thank
out
you.
of time. So now we will move on to our next pitch of the finals, and it's Crystal and Semiconductor. Yes, Ariel, could you please unmute? Because we cannot hear you for now.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Great. Thank
We're
you.
only waiting for your presentation.
Okay, good afternoon from Israel. Ariel from Crystalline Semiconductor. Just a second, I just share my screen. I hope it will run fine. Okay, so Crystalline Semiconductor, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around. What do we do now?
Okay.
I think that. Okay. Okay. Now it's
I
working
don't know.
somehow.
I see it quite good. I don't know what's happening. So
No
let's
worries. We
go.
can see it well now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So
you can start. Good luck.
I will start. So we are changing the world with diamond technologies, crystalline semiconductor. And just a second. So why diamond? Today, all electronics and the computing are based on silicon for more than decades. All the semiconductor industry is based on silicon, but actually the silicon is inferior by physical properties, and the material is a barrier in front of any further development in nanotechnology and technology. Everybody knows that the industry needs new materials, new innovative materials, and according to any physical chart and every physical knowledge, the best material that you can find is actually the carbon crystals, and especially carbon crystals in diamond shape, diamond structure. And when I refer to diamond, I don't speak about jewelry, I speak about diamond as raw material to electronics. As you can see in this chart, you can see three common semiconductors and their properties compared to diamond, and you can see the super properties of diamond in terms of band gap, breakdown field, electron mobility, and thermal conductivity. Actually, diamond has more better properties, but those are the major one. But the question, why diamond is not used instead of silicon today? There are solutions there are technologies that can produce diamond today, but those technologies called mainly CVD or HTHP are with slow rate of deposition. The diamonds are non-homogeneous. There's a lot of dislocation issues, high production cost, and because of the core technology that needs nucleation seed in our physical terms, the diamond is limited by its size. So here comes crystalline. We invented a system and method that we can evaporate gas through a plasma ball. And as you can see in the picture in the right side, we are creating nanodiamondoids, nanostructure of diamonds within the plasma, put it on a substrate, and we're creating diamond from the beginning, and we can create diamond wafers in any size and any clear, homogeneous, and doped as a semiconductor. So our technology can grow diamond in rapid growth rate, controlled process. We don't need nucleation seeds, so our size is unlimited. The quality is the best. It's an eco-friendly system without any pollution, and it's not non-expensive, but it's very important. And at the end, we can produce single crystal semiconductors. What I mean in single crystal semiconductors, that we can grow diamonds clear without any added atoms, and we can add atoms to transfer the crystal into a semiconductor. With those materials, there's the ability to produce better electronic devices in working temperature, in heat conductivity, and transistor efficiency. We were granted by the Israel Innovation Authority. We won prizes all around the world, and we have patent on our technology. With the use of such materials, we can create future applications like sophisticated and better energy storage devices and very efficient, high efficient and high durability PV cells. Those PV cells will produce more energy compared to today's PV cells. This is our team, Dr. Peter, myself as a CEO, Dr. Peter Becker, our CTO, Dr. Vladimir Vanshin, system engineer, and Ilya is electrical engineer. And thank you, and I'm waiting to your questions.
Great. We have 2 minutes for that. So who'd like to start?
Ariel, I was wondering how far you are from the production phase, because actually it was not clear from your presentation. What is the future and what is the current status?
Let's say from the production phase, we are approximately 3 to 6 months. We have some delays due to the COVID in Israel. Our laboratories were closed according to regulations for almost a year. I think it's the same situation worldwide, but we are actually very close to production, and we've got interest and orders from major companies around the world, like Intel in Israel, that want to use such materials in order to reduce heat production from the future chips or future electronical chips they are producing in our factory. I hope it was its answer. Other questions?
What would you say are the industries that that will have the best reception for this type of a material, and what would be the industries where the material would potentially be a limitation?
I thank you for your question. I understand understand the first part of your question. The first part is which industries will need these materials.
What industries will be the ones that will welcome the most that material, and what industries you foresee not being able to utilize? I mean, I was thinking, I don't know, vibration would be like industries where the ICs would have like a lot of vibration and potentially might not work well.
Actually, the first industry that they will use those materials will be companies like Intel or Toso from Japan or Kyocera that produce semiconductors and chips, because they want to use the material as a material in order to reduce heating and reduce the or to replace aluminum heat sinks. The next generation of material will be used as a semiconductor itself for high switch frequency. We are in communication with Infineon in Germany, for example. They want to use the material for high current switches and high power devices.
Thank you, Ariel. Unfortunately, we have to move on. I have to stop you here because we ran out of time. And now we will move on to the now we will move on to the last pitch of this session of the Great Pitch Contest Finals. Spin Drive is ready, I think. So I'll start the clock. Feel free to start.
Hi, my name is Nikita, and I'm co-founder of the Finnish company Spin Drive. And in Spin Drive, we reduce rotating equipment lifecycle costs by 35%. Around 40% of the electricity worldwide is consumed by rotating electrical machines. However, these machines are not efficient from the process perspective and require massive maintenance. Original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs, would like to improve their process efficiency by switching to the higher rotational speeds. However, bearings in high-speed machines cause around 70% of all failures. OEMs are missing in-house expertise to design such high-speed bearings, and solutions available on the market are not flexible and extremely expensive. In Spin Drive, we address this 24 billion euro special bearing market problem by providing active magnetic bearings. Magnetic bearings are levitating the rotational part of the machine, completely eliminating friction. They consist of the controller, actuator, and sensor, and have a similar operating principle as this Japanese maglev train, but for rotating machinery. And with our solution, the system efficiency is increased by at least 10%, it is completely maintenance-free, which reduces the overall maintenance cost by 80%. And it provides completely oil-free operation, which gives our customers an access to the new markets. Also, we have built-in sensors to provide condition monitoring for the whole unit. Overall, our solution reduces customer equipment lifecycle costs by 35%, and retrofit solution is possible. SpinDrive impact goal is to democratize levitation and mitigate above 0.5 gigaton of CO2 equivalent by 2050. We're aiming to positively affect the lives of more than 1 billion people by mitigating CO2 emissions, helping to provide contaminant-free food and water, making renewable energy more accessible, and replacing mechanical bearings with magnetic levitation in mass market applications. Our business model is that we provide the units, active magnetic bearing units, to the original equipment manufacturers as a transactional model. And after sales, we provide condition monitoring as a subscription-based model. Our target markets are manufacturers of turbo blowers, turbo compressors, and flywheels with a total market size of 3 billion euros. Our next markets include, for example, green hydrogen, electric airplanes, fusion power, to name a few. And our traction is that we raised our seed round. We have currently paying customers in Europe and Asia, with 2 of them being the leaders in our target markets. And to achieve the revenue of 196 million euros by 2027, we'll sell 20,000 controllers to approximately 70 customers. Our team, we have 4 co-founders with an extensive expertise in our target applications, and our sales are led by the professional with more than 25 years of experience in B2B sales to OEMs. And currently, we are looking for a 2 million euro round. I'll be happy to discuss with you the details and answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Now we move to the Q&A. Who would like to start from our judges? Are there any questions?
It's just an observation. So what do you? So how important is diversity for SpinDrive?
Well, this
like
is, of course,
yeah,
this is a very important topic for us. Unfortunately, for the positions which we've been trying to open, it was very difficult to find the people of the, different genders, let's say. I would say you an example. We opened the business development director position. We had 100 applicants, and only 2 of them were women. So it's in our industry, it's extremely challenging to find the good talent. But this is our priority, and that's what we are going to improve with our next funding round.
Yeah.
You mentioned that your solution is maintenance-free. Does it require power? And if yes, then how much to operate? Can you please explain how it works? And then probably there are different sizes, different applications, so they need different types of power, right? And have different capacities.
Yes, of course. So we're working with our first controller Magma. We're working with the machines from 35 kilowatts up to 2 megawatts. And this is where we can cover all the, let's say, all the applications where we're aiming. Regarding the power which we need, we approximately need 0.1% of the overall consumption of the units, what we're using. And this technology, active magnetic bearings, is the most energy efficient technology for high-speed machines. So all the other technologies, they have higher losses and higher friction for this power range.
And how would you compare the power consumption comparing to the traditional bearings? Because despite they are not powered actively, they are eating the power, right?
Yes, exactly. So what the conventional bearings, they have a lot of friction losses. And if you go with the high rotational speed, the friction losses actually increase in the power of 3 for the increasing of the speed. So the friction losses are growing rapidly in the high-speed machinery, and in our solution, it's always constant. Let's say it's 0.5%. What I mentioned. So it's not dependent on the high rotational speed, and at the high rotational speed, our solution is much more beneficial.
Oscar, I think that you had a question.
Yeah, I wanted to try to understand a bit better the economic return of the solution based on energy reduction, maintenance reduction, and also considering the extra cost of your product. So, I mean, after like, what are the conditions where this solution actually economically is better? Also considering the impact of unavailability of the service of the machine because it's under maintenance.
Yeah, so basically, to make it very simple, with our current turbo blower case, where we are working right now, we increase the energy efficiency compared to the traditional solution from 30 to 60%. So we save a lot on the electricity costs and also on the maintenance side as well. So basically, in this application, the customer, they need to replace the traditional ball bearings, let's say, every 18 months. So we are eliminating that, and we provide our solution, which operates 20 years without any maintenance.
Thank you, Nikita.
Yeah, sorry.
I had to cut you off here because we ran out of time, but thank you so much for your pitch. And now we've seen all the final startups, and now I will see you back at 6 p.m. CET with the award and closing ceremony. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And once again, thanks to our judges. See you soon.